Ordinary workers must not be made to pay the price for what is coming, or what is very likely to be coming. I think the talk that it's hype to begin speaking about these things is utterly wrong. At the very least, we're likely to see a renewed cost of living crisis as inflation ramps up again, and also quite possible that we are plunged into a significant world recession. That's what the stock markets are now pricing in. So what does that look like? Immediately, I think we need a proper short-time working scheme like they have in Germany, which doesn't just mean that you can get the dole for the days that you're not working, but enables you to get a reasonable percentage of your current income subsidised by the state. I mean, it's a matter of weeks since the government has said we're not doing the cost of living supports again, and yet we're going back into a cost of living crisis. That decision, at the very least, needs to be reversed. So we need to have, for example, the energy credits, again, as an extremely minimal measure to ensure that workers aren't going to be hit by it. But there are much broader points about the lack of sustainability and the vulnerability of the Irish economy, which successive Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael governments have gotten us into.
All right. Although if you're going to get into the past, I mean, you're a member of a party that advocated for Brexit, and if we were outside the European Union now, we'd be on 34% tariff rates, which would leave us far more vulnerable.
But we are going to be subject to the whims of German and French capital on this issue, right? And their interests are not the interests. The German and French governments and the European Commission are not the interests of ordinary workers in Ireland, nor, I would say, workers in Germany and France.
That was a bet the Brexiteers made as well. They thought European decisions would be governed by the decisions of the French, German and Italian auto industries, and ultimately that didn't happen.
But that is what is likely. I mean, the reason you're likely to have an aggressive response by the EU, and the Irish influence in this is going to be quite small, because of the Lisbon Treaty, which makes trade a European competence and means there's no vetoes, it's qualified majority voting. That means because of the German auto industry, because of French exporting, which is predominantly machinery to the US, they are likely to go for a more aggressive strategy, which threatens cost of living crisis for workers here and for workers across Europe. And so that is also a failure and it's like, you look at what happened in the banking crisis. We ultimately paid the price for the European banking crisis. Otherwise a bomb would go off in Dublin and so on. And we're facing the same sort of situation because of what Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael have done.